Scarlett McMasters, criminal investigative reporter. To Reuters, to CNN iReport, to Fox News affiliate, KTVU, Oakland, California, San Francisco Bay Area. My journey began as a child and as being victimized and abused, definitely at the commands of my mother, Molly Kealoha. But presently, who's taken over ownership and command of criminal abuse and victimization of me is my sister, Lisa Kealoha Tupo, Verizon Corporate, Honolulu, that I had to call Verizon New York to report her as abusing me, and I'm over 53 years old, and my constitutional rights are never observed in the state of Hawaii, ever. And I called the state prosecutor for elder abuse, and he lied because he said I'm not over 60 years old, and that's not a constitutional right. So even knowing my rights and being a special educator out of the San Francisco Bay Area, working for the #1 school district on earth, Cupertino Union School District, because to be hired there is at 4%. Out of 2,000 teacher applicants, 4% are hired. That's like being a Navy SEAL. 4%. So let's take a look at my medical records. As a child, what's there? Probably a broken collarbone, a broken right arm, numerous broken ankles. How can I document what happened with the broken ankle? In yet another incident when my mother's chasing me down the hill, and she's in her car and I'm on foot. I fell and nearly broke my leg, but kept on trudging all the way as far as Anaheim McDonald's. But she succeeded in committing me yet another time. Now every time she commits me, the circumstances are cooked up and trumped up, because she knows how to get a reaction to get me at a meltdown, and she will call the cops down on me and get me arrested and get me committed. Or if she wanted me to be committed to Kaneohe State Hospital, one evening after coming home from Bible study, it was cooked up and trumped up because somehow she convinces judges to write a warrant to get me committed. And my whole life, I've been a Christian woman of faith. Bible-believing real faith in Jesus' love that abides and the love never ends. And every day of my life, I'm the one loving this woman more than her other children, forgiving her and loving her. But today I decided that it is over. It is over. Her trumped up, cooked up, and criminally insane injury against me is over. I shall seek legal remedies. On my journey to come back home and knowing my pastor's wife's story at Bethel Church of San Jose, because I've been a believer and a member of the Bethel community, and it's a community that President George Bush, Attorney General Ashcroft came out of. He's from our Assembly of God body. When I heard my pastor's wife's story, that she was the most televised, most reported, most heinous abused woman that Canada has ever known, that I knew in my journey back that I would report, because I knew I was going to get committed. There was no way out to even come home to close down the relationship with the wicked husband and send him to divorce. I knew that I would have to live with my family because he blocks the resources that I should be a participant of, and she does too in this home. So they have me where they want me, but it is diabolical. It is lies. And in every circumstance since I was a child, it was cooked up, trumped up, and created to deliver destruction on my life. And so I left the Hawaiian Islands in 1987 on May 12th. And to achieve that, I had to stay at a friend's house. And I was smuggled out. Literally. With the only resources was I sold my typewriter and some jewelry, and I packed my suitcase full of Lisa Kealoha's clothes. I never had new clothes. And off I went to California to start a new life, and I vowed I was never going to come back. Ever. And only $50 in my wallet, and a Bible, and that's it. I wasn't ever going to come back, but I had a place to stay with a classmate from the Kamehameha schools, and she was a merciless witch too herself. But then I became wife of Richard Lau McMasters, and even his parents became victimized by him. His father, a notable employee of Saudi Arabia, loved by them, very talented manager of Aramco. In the 1950s, Saudi Arabia is just launching their engineering side of Aramco, Arab American Oil Company. And so American ingenuity went into transforming Aramco. And today it is Saudi owned, Saudi built, and Saudi engineered. But my father-in-law experience was an Alaska oil pipeline in Venezuela. So he was very coveted when he went to Saudi Arabia. And his wife, Victoria Martinez of Barcelona, España, my mother-in-law, delighted when he brought me home, the first dinner I had with them. And was over exuberant and was trying to see if the grandmother's heirloom platinum diamond ring fit my finger. It was only their first introduction to me. I was overwhelmed. Because in this home I was never respected. I was always pillaged and battered. So to even be spoiled a little bit, it didn't harm me at all. I'm not that kind of person. But I was bound and determined to complete my education at San Jose State University. So quietly I pursued it. Ancient history is very difficult, and minor in French history. And and then Richard McMasters did become a collaborator with Molly Kealoha, my mother. And my dear friend, who became my fitness guru and coworker, said that, well, you're baptized Catholic and so is Richard. If he never wanted children, your marriage would have been annulled. See, that was the thing. Since 2003, since I always tried to I spent a fortune in trying to divorce someone. That we've lived separate lives since 3 years after the wedding, really. And it appeared he always only cared about the documentation. And it was a dungeon-like existence, no different than here with Molly Kealoha. I'm a captive. I'm a hostage. I'm never permitted to take a car, or they'll call down the cops and accuse me of stealing it. So I don't even walk out on the street anymore. I used to like to take my evening walks or morning walks, but she'll cook up some kind of crazy excuse and call down the cops and bring so much hurt to me. Because she knows that she deliberately knew what she was doing. Her tutu worked at Kaneohe State Hospital. So did her daughter-in-law as a nurse, and so did her daughter. So I know full well the hurt and injury came to me against me from Molly Kealoha, my own mother, was premeditated, deliberate, and intent to destroy me. My precious life. Slow, deliberate, though. And she would have achieved it. It battered my health to the point of probably death itself. So check the medical record. Dr. Waxman, my former pediatrician, still lives on this hill. Why would a small child have a broken collarbone? Or a broken arm at 9 years old? Or numerous sprained ankles? So continue to report. This is a lot of memory for video.